Zach, I was scrolling through my messages this morning, and it suddenly hit me. Almost half of them were in English. Work emails, short videos, comments, even memes. And I thought to myself, wow, if someone still doesn't know English in 2026, they're honestly missing out on so much. Not just opportunities, but daily life stuff too. Have you ever had that feeling?
Oh, absolutely. Same here. Sometimes I don't even realize I'm switching between languages anymore. English just sneaks into my day without asking for permission. And yeah, I agree with you. In 2026, not knowing English is a real disadvantage. It's not just about getting a better job anymore. It's about access. Access to information, trends, ideas, even humor. If you don't understand English, it's like you're watching the world through a foggy window.
That's such a good way to put it, a foggy window. And the scary part is the world is moving so fast. AI tools, global teams, remote work. English is kind of the default language for all of that. If you can't use it, you're always one step behind, trying to catch up, feeling lost.
Exactly. It's like showing up to a party late and everyone already knows each other. You can still join, but it's awkward and you feel out of place. And honestly, I've met so many smart people who struggle because of English. They have skills, ideas, experience, but language becomes this invisible wall.
And what's ironic is most of them have studied English for years, like since middle school or high school. Grammar books, vocabulary lists, exams. But when it comes to real conversations, they freeze. Why do you think that happens? Why do people learn English for so long and still can't use it?
That's the million-dollar question. From what I've seen, the biggest problem is mindset. People treat English like a school subject instead of a living language. They focus on being perfect instead of being understood. They're scared to make mistakes, so they don't speak. And when you don't speak, you don't improve. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, that fear is real. I remember when I first tried speaking English with foreigners, my heart was racing, my palms were sweaty, and my brain just went blank. Even simple sentences felt impossible. I kept thinking, what if I say it wrong? What if they laugh?
Same here. I used to rehearse sentences in my head like I was preparing for a performance. And the funny thing is, native speakers don't even care. They're not judging your grammar. They just want to understand you. But in our minds, we turn every conversation into a test.
Right. We act like there's an examiner sitting there with a red pen. And another reason, I think, is people learn English in pieces. Vocabulary today, grammar tomorrow, but they never connect it to real life. They know 1,000 words, but don't know how to use 10 naturally.
That's so true. It's like having ingredients, but not knowing how to cook. You know what salt is, what sugar is, but you've never actually made a meal. Language works the same way. You need context, emotion, repetition, not just memorization.
And let's be honest, a lot of people are stuck in outdated learning methods. Textbooks from 10 years ago, unnatural dialogues like, "Hello, John, how are you today? I am fine, thank you." Nobody talks like that anymore.
Yeah, no one says that unless they're joking. In real life, it's more like, hey, what's up? Or how's it going? But learners don't get exposed to that kind of English. So when they hear real conversations, it feels too fast, too messy, too informal.
Exactly. And that's why many people think English is hard. But the truth is, English itself isn't the problem. The way we approach it is. In 2026, the right mindset makes all the difference.
I couldn't agree more. The biggest shift people need is to stop asking, how long will it take? And start asking, how can I make English part of my life? Because once English becomes part of your daily routine, it stops feeling like a burden.
Yes, that's such an important point. Learning English shouldn't feel like carrying a heavy backpack. It should feel like scrolling on your phone, watching a video, chatting with a friend. Small, natural, and consistent.
And another mindset shift for 2026 is understanding why you're learning English. Not because I have to, but because I want to. Wanting more freedom, more choices, more confidence. When your reason is clear, motivation follows.
Totally. I always tell people English is not just a language skill, it's a life skill. It changes how you think, how you learn, how you connect with the world. Once you see that, everything changes.
And honestly, 2026 is the best time ever to learn English. We have podcasts, YouTube, social media, AI tools, all for free or super cheap. If someone still says, I don't have resources, that excuse doesn't really hold water anymore.
True, but they still say I don't have time, or I'm too old, or I'm not good at languages. Those mental blocks are stronger than any grammar rule.
Yeah, those are classic excuses. And I get it, life is busy. But the real issue isn't time, it's priority. People spend hours on their phones every day. The question is, what are you consuming during that time?
Exactly. If you can scroll TikTok for an hour, you can listen to English for 10 minutes. It's not about doing more, it's about doing things differently.
And that's the core mindset for learning English in 2026. Stop waiting until you're ready. You'll never feel ready. Start messy, start small, start today. Fluency comes from action, not preparation.
I love that. Start messy. That's so real. People want to sound fluent before they even open their mouths, but fluency is built through mistakes, awkward moments, and a lot of trial and error.
Exactly. And every fluent speaker was once a beginner who sounded terrible. They just didn't quit. And once learners accept that mistakes are part of the process, English suddenly feels less scary.
So, if we had to sum it up, the big mindset shift is this: English is not something you finish learning, it's something you use every day, imperfectly, and that's okay.
Well said. And when people truly understand that, learning English doesn't feel hard anymore. It feels possible and honestly, even enjoyable.
And that's where everything starts, because once the mindset changes, the methods change too, and that's when real progress begins.
Exactly. Which naturally brings us to the next question. Okay, if the mindset is right, what do we actually do day to day in 2026 to improve English for real?
So yeah, if the mindset is finally in the right place, the next question is obvious. What do we actually do? Because motivation without action is just wishful thinking. In 2026, learning English isn't about studying harder. It's about practicing smarter. Let's start with listening, because that's where most people get it wrong.
Oh my God, yes. Everyone says just listen to English every day, but nobody explains how to listen properly. People turn on a podcast, let it play in the background, and then wonder why nothing sticks. That's passive listening. It's better than nothing, but it won't magically make you fluent.
Exactly. Listening only works when your brain is engaged. In 2026, the best way is short, real-life content, 5 to 10 minutes, one topic, one speaker. You listen once just to get the idea, then listen again to catch phrases, tone, and how sentences are connected.
And here's a tip I love. Don't try to understand every word. That mindset drives people crazy. Native speakers don't listen word by word, they listen for meaning. If you understand 60 to 70%, you're doing great. The rest will come naturally.
Right. I always say, stop translating, start feeling. English has rhythm, stress, emotion. When you listen to real conversations, podcasts, YouTube vlogs, interviews, you pick that up subconsciously.
And repetition is key. Listening to the same content again is not boring, it's powerful. The second time, you hear things you missed. The third time, phrases start sounding familiar. That's when English begins to feel natural instead of foreign.
Exactly. And now comes the part that scares everyone, speaking. Most learners wait forever before they start speaking. They say, I'll speak when my grammar is better, or I need more vocabulary first. But that's backwards.
Totally backwards. In 2026, you should start speaking from day one, even if it's broken, even if it's simple, even if it sounds wrong. Speaking is not a reward for being good, it's the tool that makes you good.
And honestly, speaking to yourself is underrated. Talk about your day. Describe what you're doing. Say your thoughts out loud in English. It feels weird at first, but it builds confidence fast.
Yes, and mistakes are your best teachers. If you're not making mistakes, you're not pushing yourself. Fluency comes from hundreds of small errors, not from waiting for perfection.
I remember when I stopped caring about sounding stupid. That's when my English improved the fastest. I realized people understand me even when my grammar isn't perfect. Communication is about clarity, not perfection.
And let's talk about something that changes the game completely in 2026, AI and technology. This is where learning English gets much easier than before.
Oh, 100%. In the past, you needed a teacher, a language partner, expensive courses. Now, you can practice speaking with AI anytime, anywhere, without fear of judgment.
Exactly. You can ask AI to role-play conversations, correct your sentences, explain phrases in simple English, even help you sound more natural. It's like having a patient tutor who never gets tired.
And the best part? You can personalize everything. If you like business English, travel English, casual conversations, AI adapts to you. That's huge.
But here's the warning. Don't let technology make you lazy. Tools are powerful, but habits matter more, which brings us to the most important point. Small habits decide big results.
Yes, people overestimate what they can do in 1 month and underestimate what they can do in 1 year. 10 minutes a day sounds small, but it compounds like crazy.
Exactly. 10 minutes of listening, 5 minutes of speaking, one new phrase used in a sentence. Do that daily, and in 6 months, your English will feel completely different.
And consistency beats intensity every time. Studying for 3 hours once a week won't help as much as 15 minutes every day. English needs regular exposure by going to the gym for your brain.
I also love the idea of attaching English to existing habits. Listen to English while commuting, watch English videos instead of scrolling aimlessly, change your phone language, make English part of your environment.
Yes, surround yourself with it. When English becomes normal, your brain stops resisting. It stops feeling like study time and starts feeling like daily life.
And don't forget to enjoy the process. Watch content you actually like. Movies, cooking videos, travel vlogs, podcasts. If it's boring, you won't stick with it.
That's so important. Learning English shouldn't feel like punishment. It should feel like opening doors. And in 2026, those doors are everywhere. Better jobs, global friends, more confidence.
So if someone's listening right now and thinking, I've tried before and failed, I'd say this: you didn't fail, you just used the wrong approach. Start small, start today, start imperfect.
Exactly. English doesn't get easier because the language changes. It gets easier because you change. Your mindset, your habits, your courage to speak.
And once you take that first step, the rest follows. One sentence leads to one conversation. One conversation leads to confidence, and confidence changes everything.
So yeah, 2026 is not too late. It's actually the perfect time. The tools are here, the world is connected. All that's missing is your decision.
Decide to show up for yourself. Decide to try again. Decide to speak, even when it's uncomfortable.
Because fluency isn't a destination, it's a journey. And the journey starts with one simple choice. Use English today.
And if you do that consistently, I promise you, one day you'll look back and think, wow, English isn't hard anymore.
And that's when you know you've leveled up.
Exactly. Thanks for listening, everyone. Keep going, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you next time. And remember, progress over perfection.